Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right as well. I'm all right working on good. I'm all right working on even better than good.
That's good.
Hey, we're halfway through the week already, so we're kind of cruising. I've got a guest coming up later in the show. Tim Hague is my guest. Perseverance is the name of his book. He is the Amazing Race Canada winner from the very first season of that. So way back in the beginning. Going to be chatting with him about his very interesting life. So I'm excited to chat with him. I've got a quote here also from Farrah Gray. Farrah says, "Build your own dreams or someone else will hire you to build theirs." I love that.
That is true.
And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. If you happen to work for somebody else and you're helping them achieve their goals, there's nothing wrong with that. There are some people who are far more comfortable working for someone else rather than having the burden of all of the stress and everything.
It is a lot of stress.
I'm just saying. So don't feel like you didn't do something right if you ended up working for someone else, because I know people who work for others that are very, very happy, and I know others who take really good care of people who work for them. And there are times that I look at that and go, maybe that's the path I should have taken.
Exactly.
All right. Coming up, we got a lot of great stuff on this Wednesday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, the 6th day of June. Today is National Eyewear Day. You wear things on your eyes?
I do.
Are they glasses?
And contacts.
Okay.
Or contacts.
Okay.
Not both.
You can wear contacts and sunglasses. So
Yeah.
That's not so sad. That's not silly. It's also D-Day today, National Higher Education Day, National Applesauce Cake Day. That kind of sounds yummy. National Drive-In Movie Day, National Gardening Exercise Day, and National Running Day. And it's also National Yo-Yo Day. A lot of ups and downs on Yo-Yo Day.
Yeah.
I'll let myself out. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this, the first Wednesday in the month of June.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, is it a prison or is it a vineyard? You ready for another
I like
edition,
these.
Heidi? I
Yeah.
know you do. Baiting Hollow, Calverton, New York. Is that a prison or a vineyard? Baiting Hollow.
Vineyard.
It is a vineyard, yeah. That is a very good name for a vineyard. It's also another one on the list here. Forest Bank. It's in Pendlebury, England. Is Forest Bank a prison or is Forest Bank a vineyard?
Prison.
It is a prison. You're getting pretty good. You got both of them right today.
I got them both right
today.
today.
Did you read these ahead of time?
No.
It's what you're doing over here before I come in. I walk in the studio, she's studying.
Yeah.
She's over here studying.
Yeah, I am.
Prison, vineyard,
Because
prison,
this is so
prison,
important
vineyard.
to my future.
It is. I mean, you just won. You won everything right there.
Yeah.
Which is nothing more than a
pretty impressive.
peck on the cheek from me, which is okay because, she's married to me and all. But, yeah, it's been another fun-filled, action-packed edition of Is It a Prison or Is It a Vineyard?
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. A woman staying at a motel just off South Holsmer Street in Tacoma, Washington, had 7 pounds of methamphetamine stashed in an accordion when federal agents and Tacoma police arrested her.
In an accordion.
Accordion to the story.
Wow.
A 30-year-old woman from California was arraigned Wednesday in Superior Court. one count of unlawful possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. Bail was set at $100,000.
They probably figured nobody's going to look twice at an accordion.
Yeah, no kidding. According to charging documents, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security special agent got a tip from an informant that a woman had driven to from California to Tacoma with a, quote, significant amount of meth, that she'd been staying at a motel that shares a parking lot with a chain diner. Agents and police moved in, ordering the woman from her vehicle. She consented to them searching the SUV for drugs. A police drug dog searched the vehicle, alerting agents to the accordion inside 7.25 pounds of meth. It was in 7 vacuum-sealed packages. The street value, about $36,000. So there you go. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, and the upcoming film, The Happy Time Murders. We talked about this last week a little bit. Remember we were saying that Sesame Street was suing them?
Yeah.
Here's why. The Happy Time Murders with Melissa McCarthy and her cast of raunchy puppets. And they're not her puppets. It's just the movie. So I don't think that it's like her doing it. But anyway, the film has puppets that are being naughty. They will be allowed to use the catchphrase, no sesame, all street. So that's where Sesame Street was saying, hey, don't use that because you have nothing to do with us. You're not even associated with us. Don't use that. But according to the court, a court of law declared in favor of STX Productions, saying that it's not infringing on the wholesome Sesame Street brand by saying no sesame, all street.
Right.
So do you think they should be able to use that?
Yeah.
So what if somebody else was doing something that was lewd and they said, no John, all Heidi? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm clearly asking the wrong person.
I'd endorse it. I'd do ads for him.
Yeah, Heidi. Should go to that festival. You know, the one that's no John, all Heidi. All right, Harvey Weinstein is back in the news. He was indicted on charges of rape and first-degree criminal sexual act. So that has gone to the next level now. They're working on a movie, and he was trying to change the details, which I think, again, that's pretty gutsy to do that. Like, hey, we should just adjust this and this and this. They're like, no, it's supposed to be a true story. That's not how it works. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. A Nebraska man's chocolate cravings landed him behind bars. This happened in Grand Island when police responded to an alarm call Saturday afternoon at Dairy Queen. Officers said they found 18-year-old Joseph Lebowski. I don't know if I said that right. Ludenowski. Okay. Anyway, he was hiding with a bag of crushed Reese's peanut butter cups. They say the gentleman was admitted to using a screwdriver, which he found was with him when they found him, to break into a freezer to steal some ice cream toppings. So that's what you were going for?
What on earth?
You're breaking in somewhere? You're breaking into a Dairy Queen for Reese's Pieces? What the what? Oh, it was peanut butter cups. Okay, well, he wasn't so crazy then, you know. I get a hankering for those once in a while, too. But I would obtain them legally. I wouldn't break them.
I just don't understand.
No. Makes not a ton of sense, really. A survey by Office Team found that 80% of bosses say the quality of your office wardrobe plays a direct role in you getting a promotion or not. So if you come to work looking sharp and, you know, looking like you have it all together, they think you have it all together, and you get a promotion.
I would absolutely
If you come in all
that.
frumpy-like and you look like you don't know what you're doing, chances are it's going to be tougher to get the promotion. This makes a lot of sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, without a doubt.
So they say, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Mm-hmm. And that usually makes sense, unless, of course, the job you want is something that's not appropriate for you to be wearing at work. Like, well,
Batman.
The job I want is Batman. Why can't I wear this to work? Yeah, please go home and change. By the way, you're not getting that promotion now. An Ohio school teacher was found guilty of having relations with 2 male students in her classroom. So there's more and more stories like this popping up. And here's the thing that really bothers me. And again, not to take the moral high road here and derail this fabulous program we have going. But one of the things that really bothers me is this story about a female teacher and 2 male students. Online, there are people saying, yeah, kudos, hey, way to go, guys. If it were a female student and a male teacher, people would freak out. They should freak out as well because the male students and the female teacher.
I'm guilty of that. I view it differently.
You shouldn't. I mean, this is a person who they trusted, and this is a person who shouldn't have done that. So I think either way is wrong. It's either right or it's wrong, and it's wrong. It's just wrong. There is no right. So anyway. Back off the high horse for a minute here. A recent study examining 125-million-year-old fossils discovered in China revealed that dinosaurs had a condition common to humans. The dinosaur skin would flake off, creating tiny dandruff specks. So imagine this: prehistoric dinosaurs with dandruff. You know why that is?
Why?
Because their tiny little arms, they can't condition properly.
Yeah,
just... Which right now, I'm holding my arms like a T-Rex.
Yes, you are. It's ridiculous.
But look at that. I can't,
you can't reach
do it right now. If you're not
Super
driving,
impressive.
put your hands out like a T-Rex. Now try to condition. You can't. That's why they needed some Pert Plus. Prehistoric Pert Plus is what they needed. Is that even the dandruff one? Is that
even
the
if they had that, they couldn't got it on top of their head.
That's where you help each other,
it's
dinosaurs.
Head and shoulders.
Is that what it is? I don't know. See? I have no... The joke didn't work then.
No.
Prehistoric Head and Shoulders. I thought Prehistoric Pert Plus had a nice ring to it, but that's clearly not right. This is where, again, with the tiny little T-Rex arms, you need to help each other. You need to put conditioner on your friend, and then your friend can put the conditioner on you. See? Is that going to work? No?
Well, they're not around anymore.
No. You know why?
Take that...
They died of dandruff.
Advice.
That was the problem. Yeah. Every single one of them. That's the case. Do I have room for one other thing? No, I don't. Okay.
No, this comedy gold has got to end for now.
Sadly, this is it for the scoop of the day on this Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us today, Tim Hague. He's the author of a new book that just recently came out, Perseverance. Tim, how are you, sir?
Very good. Very good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, super excited. Now, I'm reading in here, you were the winner of the inaugural Amazing Race Canada with your son, Tim Jr. Let's talk a little bit about that adventure that you guys had a chance to share together.
Absolutely. One of my favorite conversations. Ran the race in 2013. It was the first season of the Amazing Race Canada. And if your listeners don't know what the Amazing Race is, it is you can think of it as a giant scavenger hunt. Typically, you race around the world looking for various clues, trying to perform various tasks, all the while not coming in last on any given day and getting kicked off the show. It's super fun. Shows so much of the world, absolutely beautiful. Show they do such a good job of it.
And how many different versions of that are there? Because I know there's an Amazing Race from the United States as well, and then there's the Canadian one. Are there quite a few different versions of the Amazing Race?
You know, I've never looked, John, to be sure exactly how many there are, but I know that there are a few scattered around the world.
Now, let's talk about something else that happened in your life. There was a tremor in your foot that turned out to be Parkinson's or onset of Parkinson's, and that happened shortly before this race, correct?
That's right. That was in 2010. I first noticed the tremor in my left foot, and subsequently went on to be diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's disease in February of 2011. And I'd like to say that of all the symptoms that have come with having Parkinson's, the one that I liked the most was the fact that it got us on the Amazing Race.
Well, there you go. See, now that's a positive outlook right there.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of nasty things that come along with Parkinson's disease. As people typically know, it's often seen as an older man's disease or an older person's disease. I was diagnosed at 46. I know people in their late 30s, early 40s who have been diagnosed. And it has lots of nasty stuff that come along with it. We typically know the tremor and the rigidity, the slowness and the loss of balance. But in my case, it also came along with that really positive piece of getting us on the race. My wife had said, you know, they're going to love your Parkinson's. And I guarantee you're going to get an interview. Because they do all these interesting backstories. They try to have interesting stories to tell on the race. And they had never done Parkinson's disease.
Nice.
So she was right, yeah.
You guys not only were in the race, but you went on to win the race, correct?
Yeah, Parkinson's got us on the race, and somehow, despite it, we went on to win the doggone thing.
That's awesome.
If you watched our race, you'd see that it was a struggle. Parkinson's certainly played its role. It slowed us down, and we did not always look pretty. But like I tell the story in Perseverance, the book, we chose to stay in our race. We chose to stay focused. We chose to persevere every day. And simply doing our best proved to be enough.
That's awesome. Now, again, the book is called Perseverance, the 7 skills you need to survive, thrive, and accomplish more than you ever imagined. Our guest today is the author of that book, Tim Hague, and he's Tim Hague Sr. Your son that was with you on The Amazing Race is Tim Hague Jr. Now, is he an author as well, or is he not into that kind of thing? Or what does Tim Hague Jr. do?
Well, he's not an author yet. We'll see if that day ever comes. He's a very good speaker. He does a little bit of speaking as well. And he's working a job. You know, he's got a good career in marketing. His wife's a lawyer. We have a little girl who's going to be 3 this August, who we have just a blast with. And Tim Jr. is doing really well.
That's awesome.
Really proud of him where he's at in life. Yeah.
When this book first came out, you had a lot of very positive comments from people. So that's got to feel really good when you put your heart and soul into something. And when it finally hits the shelves, people are talking about how much they love it. But let's talk a little bit about that feedback that you got. And what does that feel like when you get that feedback and you find out that people are learning and growing because of your experience?
Well, it's really cool. You know, it's hard to describe because you see your story, and I think I'm like most people. You know your own story, and you think, okay, it's my story, big deal. But then you write it up, you decide to tell it. And you have people from around the world telling you that it's meaningful to them, that it's helping them in their journey, it's helping them in their struggle. And that means a lot, because I feel like I've been given a lot. I feel like my life has been very blessed right from the get-go. And the fact that I can tell my story and it be helpful to others allows me to have a sense of giving back, of paying it forward. That's just truly very, very rewarding.
Well, the book is called Perseverance, 7 skills you need to survive, thrive, and accomplish more than you ever imagined. Our guest today has been Tim Hague. Tim, thank you so much for taking the time to visit.
You're very welcome, John.
The book is available right now. I'm going to throw a link to it to make it really easy to find in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The only food that does not spoil is, I think we've talked about this like 12 times, honey.
Oh, yeah.
They've
Yeah,
found,
we have. I don't know. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't know.
Cheeseburgers, Big Macs? No, it is
I was
honey.
thinking of eggs.
Eggs? Eggs spoil. You know what they smell like when they spoil?
Rotten eggs.
Spoiled eggs, yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Pilgrims ate popcorn at the first Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't blame them. Popcorn is
no,
delicious.
I don't either. And here's the thing. I wonder, why don't we make that part of our Thanksgiving celebration every single year? We're going to start.
Some
every
people
year.
do.
Do they really?
Go to the movies on Thanksgiving,
Oh, yeah.
and so you would
We've
have
done
popcorn
that
when you're...
before.
Yeah.
We've absolutely done that before.
Yes, we have done
Well,
that.
next time, I'm going to wear a pilgrim hat. And then I'll flip it over and have them just put the popcorn right in that. It's like a
There you
it's
go.
a pilgrim
They
hat
should make
bucket.
pilgrim hat boxes for Thanksgiving Day.
Somebody listening?
At the theaters.
You should do that. It's a good plan. It's a very Thanksgiving tradition that, a very cool one that we just haven't done yet.
That's right.
All right. Couple of fun facts courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
If If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, the grandiloquent word of the day, it's malapert. Malapert. M-A-L-A-P-E-R-T. What do you think malapert means?
I don't know.
It is an adjective. It is impudently bold in speech or manner, also known as saucy. It is also in the name of a lunar crater near the southern limb of the moon. So malapert is the name of like a crater on the moon.
I thought you were going to tell me it was something about dinosaurs putting pert plus on each other's heads.
That was my unique idea, Heidi. I can't give that credit to the grandiloquent word people. They are not
I don't think they want it.
No, they are not nearly malapert enough to come up with those kind of things. I'm so malapert. I don't know if I'm using that right.
I don't think you are.
Probably not.
No.
Even if I am, it doesn't sound right. So many of the words, when I try to use them, they just don't sound right. But today's grandiloquent word is malapert.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, some weird news for you on a Wednesday. I like Wednesday weird news the best. Mm-hmm. Weird news on a Wednesday. Does it sound better?
Yeah.
Weird news on a Tuesday. Weird news on a Wednesday. Now we're on to something. And I could have saved this for our Fake News or Florida, but I decided I've got enough stories stacked up over there to last me the rest of the month, so we're going to go with this one. A Florida man is pleading guilty to impersonating a member of the Saudi Arabia royal family as part of a fraud scheme that netted him several $1 million.
Whoa.
Yeah. 47-year-old Anthony Gignac, G-I-G-N-A-C. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Gignac? Anyway, he admitted to a Florida court that he used various aliases to make it appear that he was a member of the Saudi Arabia ruling Assad dynasty. The con man, who used names like Sultan bin Khalid al-Saud, among other aliases, he faces a lengthy prison sentence after pleading guilty last week. He used fake Saudi identities to persuade investors to dump millions of dollars into business contracts that didn't exist. He and his co-conspirators stole from investors worldwide, spending the money on Ferraris and Rolls Royces and Rolex watches and Cartier jewelry and a 2-bedroom condo in an exclusive area of Miami. So that is crazy. If he would have just used all of the smarts that he was using for that to do something good, he'd probably be very wealthy in a legal way.
Probably.
Because to make all of that happen, he had to be kind of bright.
You would think so.
But it was a terrible idea, and that's why this is today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. This one all the way from Russia, where a brazen couple was caught appearing to have a little relation time, we'll say, while riding a giant Ferris wheel. They were hundreds of feet off the ground, and shocked passengers could be heard laughing in disbelief while they were recording the couple in the next cabin. The footage was shot as the Ferris wheel was slowly rotating at 65 meters above the ground. It says here, the company that operates the wheel said, what they did wasn't very smart. The cabins are transparent without any dimming. And there were kids taking the Ferris wheel ride in the compartments next to them. According to the media, the Ferris wheel takes 12 minutes to complete the journey, and the man and the woman, I don't know if they're married or not, they could face either a fine of up to 15 days in jail if they have deemed to have broken the law. So, 12-minute round trip.
I would say that they were deemed to have broken the law,
probably,
most likely.
Probably. Although, I don't know. Yeah, I guess, is it against the law to do what they did?
It is.
Is it legally against the law? Like, is there a law against that specific thing? If they get the right attorney, they probably get them off. That is not what I meant. All right, we're going to move on. This has been today's Moment of Duh. And I stepped right into my own Moment of Duh. Thanks for listening on a Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi has to discern whether this is fake news or if it's just a bunch of flubbery.
Okay.
I guess those would be the same thing. Fake news is flubbery. If this is a true story that happened in the great state of Florida or if it's just a bunch of flubbery. See, this is what happens when I try to use the grandiloquent word. It never comes out right. So is this fake news or Florida? A Florida man with facial tattoos was arrested in Clearwater Beach, Florida, when police said he climbed atop a piece of playground equipment and began telling children where babies come from.
Florida.
Fake news. Yeah, did you read this online?
No, but
you just can't
I
make
can
this.
totally see it happening.
You just can't make this kind of thing up. So police say 30-year-old Otis Ryan was approaching tourists and making inappropriate comments to women in an effort to get their male partners to confront him. An officer in the area was watching him at the time. The officer said in the arrest report, I watched him walk over to a busy playground area and climb up to the top of one of the children's toys and then began occupied by, it was being occupied by children between the ages of 4 and 6. And he started shouting from the top of this ride that to the children that babies come out of women. What the what? None of this makes a lot of sense. Police noted Ryan has caused a number of disturbances in the area recently. In jail records, they show a number of arrests over the last year on charges of disorderly conduct, battery, and carrying a concealed weapon. So at least this time he wasn't carrying a weapon. He was just being his own weapon of mass idiocy. It's a bad idea. It's today's fake news or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is some good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. Odiva is a monthly subscription service specifically for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. Do you know who Benedict Cumberbatch is?
I do.
Is
yes.
that his real name, or is that a fake name they came up with?
I don't know.
I mean, if you were going to come up with a fake name, would that be the one you come up with?
Not me, no.
Now, Benedict Cumberbatch comes to the rescue of bicyclists who was being attacked by 4 men. So the Sherlock Holmes, the guy who played him, he's running to the rescue of a pedestrian in distress, and it sounds like something that you'd, read in a book or maybe see in a movie, but this is what really happened. Uber driver Manuel Diaz was escorting a middle-aged married couple to their destination when suddenly they saw a bicyclist being mobbed by 4 young men. The cyclist, who was a delivery driver for a meal delivery service, had just removed his helmet when the attackers broke a bottle over his head and started to hit him.
Oh.
That is when Diaz says one of his passengers jumped out of the car and ran into the fray, leaving him alone. And it was then that he realized who this passenger was. It was none other than Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, the dude who plays Sherlock Holmes and Doctor Strange and all these different things.
Never fear. Benedict Cumberbatch is here.
I'm saying, if you got a superhero whose superpower is the fact that he's Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's nice of him, though. I mean, that's pretty cool to jump
That
right
is
in
cool.
there.
But I'm just thinking I might say, I'll just wait for the next Uber if you want to just keep on moving. No, this is really cool. I think it's absolutely awesome. It said, I had hold of one lad and Benedict had another. He seemed to know exactly what he was doing. He was very brave. He did most of it, to be honest, Diaz told the Star. They tried to hit him, but he defended himself and pushed them away. He was not injured. Then I think they also recognized that it was Benedict and ran away. Ironically, the attack was taking place right around the corner from Baker Street, which is the block in which Sherlock Holmes series takes place. So this happened like right in the same neighborhood.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. This was sent to me by like 7 different people, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
cool.
said, hey, this is either got to be your weird news or your moment of or your good news.
Yeah, it could be either one.
And that's the thing. I had to decide, is this weird news or is this good news? I think it's good news.
It's absolutely good news. That's pretty cool. That's
I think
cool
it's cool that because he didn't have to get out of the Uber.
No.
It's not like the driver was going to get out. He made him stop and he got out. And the driver is the one telling the tale. He's like, so this guy jumps out of my car, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
I better go help him.
Pretty cool.
I've got a link to the story and all of the details on our show notes page at johnandheidishow.com. You'll see it in the good news section. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.